my sisters and my brothers from the beautiful isle, the Helen of the West, good night to you. My sisters and brothers here at the university, the People's University, I say good night. My sisters and brothers following us on Choice, on NBC, and wherever you can hear the sound of my voice, I bid you good night. I greet my comrades, my friends, the political leader, deputy political leaders, and all the members on the platform at this University of the People tonight. St. Lucia, how are you doing tonight? What is on your mind tonight? What voices are you hearing crying out tonight? What are the pains of your neighbors tonight? What are they feeling? Qui ça qui a fait yo la peine? Qui ça qui a affecté yo enfant cheyo? Mama ici ici. Qui ça qui a affecté oswea? Qui toi kasma oni? There is crying. There's crying coming from the town of Castries, the city of Castries, the town of Vieux-Fort, and the town of Gros-Îlet. There is crying coming from the village of Dennery, the village of Mico, and Slaughter and Canries. There is crying coming from all over St. Lucia. There is crying. Who is crying in Vieux-Fort tonight? Who's crying in the Mang tonight? Who's crying in Castries tonight? Who has been crying from the 1st of January in Piat Grand Riviere and down to the south and back to Castries? There is wailing. There is crying. Mothers are losing their sons. Women are losing their partners. Children are growing up without their fathers. There is violence in this land. There is crying. Where do we take our injured brothers and sisters from the south? Kote nou ka pwen yo, le yo twape ko yo fiziwe, ebe koutou, kote nou ka pwen yo an Vieux-Fort. An stadium nan toujou. A Vieux place la an stadium nan ki ni tout kate infection, se la nou ka pote yo toujou. Where do we take the dying in the Castries Basin? Still at Victoria Hospital. Can the stadium cope with that stress? St. Jude Hospital, abandoned, about to be demolished after 40 years. In the next few weeks, we celebrate 40 years of independence. And then, what happens to our people when they fall sick? Brothers and sisters, come di ou qui passe l'âge 40, ka do boti si elsewhere. How many of you are 40 years and older? How many of you at home are 40 years and older? Are you proud to be celebrating this 40th anniversary this year? Are you in a mood to celebrate in this year, 2019? After 40 years of independence, who would have thought that we would have a leader who would put horses from foreign countries before the people of St. Lucia? When we gained independence in 1979, Kimoun, qui te kay kwe, nous te kay ni un leader, un prime ministre, qui te kay porter cheval avant santé, pep sei, set lisi. Where are we going in this 40th anniversary? And yes, the theme is we're all in. I agree. We're all in this mess. We're all in this sinking ship. We're all in. I hear voices. I hear voices crying. Voices crying.
Voices from the ghetto. Crying, crying, crying. Lord, Lord. Crying, crying. Voices from the ghetto. Crying, crying, crying. Lord, Lord. Crying. Voices from the ghetto.
Who is listening to those cries? Who's hearing the cries of the people tonight? We have a prime minister who is stubborn, who's pig-headed, who's selfish, who refuses to listen, who is listening to the cries of the people of St. Lucia tonight. The women of St. Lucia are burdened. The daughters of Fair Helen are stressed out. They are traumatized. Maman qui gobude, yo ka worry. Femme qui enceinte ka worry. Pour yo faire issue, supposé un moment pour yo célébrer. Mais yo père, your people are in l'hôpital pour buy issue. They are afraid to visit the hospitals. Fathers to be are afraid to take their girlfriends or their wives to the hospital, but they do not have money to take them overseas. So they visit the hospitals with all the stress, with all the commotion. Who's listening to the cries of the pregnant women in this country? Who is responding to the cries of the pregnant women in this country? Families are afraid. Families are afraid for the older people to get sick. Families are afraid for the diabetic families to fall sick. They are afraid for the hypertensive families to fall sick. Your père pour famille qui est sick pour garder malade. Your père pour nous qui est pressure qui haut pour tomber malade. They are afraid for the asthmatic family to fall sick. St. Lucians are afraid. They are crying. They are afraid for the children to fall sick because they cannot afford private care. Who is hearing the cries of the people of St. Lucia? All of that is happening while Mary Isaac takes time and waits to brief her staff, to brief organizations, and to brief the people of St. Lucia. We demand a briefing from the Minister for Health. It is now February 2019, 3 weeks away from our 40th anniversary, and the Minister for Health cannot give a status report on the health status in St. Lucia. What a shame. No Minister of Health, there are so many of them. And I challenge Stevenson King and Sarah Flood as former ministers of health in the cabinet. I say one on your left, one on your right. Carry Mary, please. Carry Mary through this journey on behalf of the people of St. Lucia. Sister Sarah, Brother Stevenson King, carry Mary for us, please, and relieve the people of St. Lucia. I want you to listen. I want you to listen of the voices.
Voices from the ghetto, crying, 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 Lord, Lord, crying, voices from the ghetto.
The voices of some healthcare workers in St. Lucia. Today I stand, I ask them for their thoughts, and they have shared it with me. It's on my phone and I've written it. I will read to you what some health workers sent to me today. Voices from the health workers in St. Lucia. 1, our health system is terrible. We don't even know where we stand as staff. Number 2, another health worker. Women are dying. I do not see any active investigation or even statement from government officials. The nurses are still waiting for March 31st to find out if they are going to have a job. Voices from the health workers. Another one. Health is very bad. Doctors at health centers see 20 clients per clinic. We need doctors from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. so that can cut down on the number of clients going to Victoria Hospital. Voices from the healthcare workers of this country. Voices.
Crying, crying, Lord, Lord, crying, voices from the ghetto.
I heard the voices of the people from Larissus. There was a report that I received dated March 2015, ready to roll in September 2016. And you mean to tell me you are looking at privatizing a hospital that was a gift? It is a gift to the people of St. Lucia. Give the people the gift for Independence 40. Give St. Lucians the gift. I speak out against demolition. Women of St. Lucia are suffering. I hear their voices.
Crying, crying, Lord, Lord, crying, voices from the ghetto, crying, 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 Lord, Lord, voices from the ghetto.
I hear St. Lucians cry when their houses burn down. Moi tan famille set lycée ka plewe le ka yobrile e ka la pan insurance. Comme famille set lycée sa insure ka yo. Comme famille set lycée di tout moun di dan yo ka travail. Comme. And then there was the fund. A few weeks ago, 8 family members lost their homes. 40 years. Independence 40. Nothing in place to help people whose homes get damaged. I want to share with you an experience. Sisters and brothers, when I was a rep for Babono, more than 8 families suffered from destruction of their homes by fire. Please pass a wheat for me. Appeal the yo, say femme qui te ka tet famille sala. Ka yo brûlé. And when they came to me, I felt so relieved as an MP to be able to get the report from the fire service, put a letter and send it to the Prime Minister, who would issue a check. I remember a certain young lady whom I taught. Domestic violence. Her boyfriend tried to burn her down and her son in the house in Babono one night. She was rescued. She and her son were rescued. She got nothing from this house. Burnt down completely. And I wrote to Dr. Anthony, who was Prime Minister, and he issued this young lady a check. She was able to stand up on her feet after a few weeks and begin to buy some materials to build back her home. And another time, right in Cabbage, on a rainy day, I was going home, and somebody told me, look, a house just collapsed on the hill up there. I took a detour, moi trouvé un fond Cabbage. Là, moi arrivé là, moi kay la platate. So, la bout tout bagay a sou kay la. Thank God nobody got hurt. Again, I took pictures with my phone. I took details and I wrote to Dr. Anthony. Within weeks, this lady got a check to put her house back together again. The distress fund has helped so many St. Lucian women. And now they are crying. They are crying. Who's hearing their cries?
Crying, voices from the ghetto. Crying, 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 Lord, Lord. Crying, voices from the ghetto. Help us, Father. Oh, Lord.
I have another voice for you tonight. It's the voice of a single parent. A young lady who wrote to me today. She's the mother of a daughter. She said to me, personally, I just came from the family court to see if my child father had put any money there for her, since it has been about 2 years. And all that was said is that they have sent the matter to the right department. Therefore, there is nothing that they can do for me. My daughter is in Form 5, and at times it is very hard on me. How many of you mothers? How many of you mothers? Comment you, maman? Oswea ek papa, sa senti, laisse pas ça là, sorti une jeune femme. The story of a young woman, the voices of St. Lucian women suffering under this administration. Lord, put a hand. The child is in Form 5. She has SBS to do. She had no laptop. Where are the laptops in this age of technology? Where is the equipment for the young people in the schools to do their assignment? What has happened to the education sector? The voices of the students crying loud in the secondary schools. The voices of the parents crying loud and louder for Gail Rigobert to hear and the Prime Minister. I call on tonight all the female ministers in cabinet. I call on Fortuna Belrose, Gail Rigobert, Mary Isaac, and Sarah Flood. Please speak out on behalf of the women of St. Lucia. Please speak out on behalf of the men and the families of St. Lucia. I ask you, women in cabinet, to break your silence and stand up. Stand up for the women of St. Lucia. I shall continue to speak. I shall continue to represent on this platform, on my TV show, in town hall meetings, and everywhere I am called. I will continue to speak. I will continue to educate. I will continue to empower. This is my mission in this country. I shall continue to represent the people of this country. This is my mission. Independence 40. This is my mission. We're in this mess. We're in this sinking ship of Fair Helen. I challenge the cabinet. Sarah Flood, instead of standing up in Parliament to stop a motion of no confidence, I say go stand up in cabinet in front of Alan Shastney and tell him about the commissioning of the hospitals. Go stand up in front of Alan Shasney and tell him about the laptops. Go stand up and tell him about the distress fund. Stand up, Sarah Flood, instead of standing up in Parliament to stop freedom of expression. I tell you to stand up in the cabinet. Represent your sisters. Help them look forward to a better St. Lucia. And as I close, Independence 40. My dear people of St. Lucia, for the 40 years, we have seen good times and we have seen bad times. This is the worst of times. This is the worst of times. But I tell you, St. Lucians, brothers and sisters at home, in the diaspora and here on this university, I tell you, hold strong. La route seche. Do not give up. Take strength from our forefathers, the slaves who never gave up, who fought against the white man, the white leaders. I tell you, stand up as a people. Stand up as strong St. Lucians. We will overcome. We must overcome from this bondage. We must get freedom. From Independence 40 until that day, I am counting down to Freedom Day. I am counting down to Freedom Day, when the chains will be broken from the legs and the arms of the St. Lucian people. Hold strong, my sisters. Hold strong, my brothers. There will be freedom. The Lord has not given up on us. Never give up. There are about 170,000 people in this country. 10 of them can never be stronger than this army. There is 169,990. The army will charge for us. Hold on until Freedom Day. Bless you. Long live St. Lucia. Long live you, my brothers and sisters. Long live the St. Lucia Labour